Well, hello there and welcome to our Retinol Masterclass. I'm really excited for tonight. I'm Latrice. I get to share with you all things new Retinol 0.3 and hopefully, yes, there it is. I got some visuals, a couple videos. We're going to talk about it, even some questions you may be thinking about this. But first off, what is this about retinol? Now, I want to just point out that it is the main product, like bam, right on the cover of our new fall holiday catalog. And if you're a customer watching this, make sure you tell your consultant, I need a digital copy of this catalog, and she will get this to you right away. Now, some of you customers may have been said, I need a paper copy, and your consultant had that mailed to you. So check your mailbox, wrangle it from the kids, the dog, the husband, right? Get it from them because sometimes they hide it from you, right? They're like, oh, I don't want her to go shopping. Okay. But it is here, and this is a new product that we're really excited about. And what's really exciting for me is it's a daily product. Now, Mary Kay, you might be like, well, Mary Kay, have they had retinol before? And they have, but this is the first time we've had one that you can start using from day one. And you don't have to prep your skin for it. You can just add it to a nightly regimen. And that's the point of our conversation this evening is how to recreate like a nighttime routine. All right. It is now fall. Okay. And the days are getting shorter. The days are getting shorter. Our skin might be shifting a little bit again, right? I was just in an appointment with a customer consultant, and I said, "Does your skin change from summer to fall?" And she said, "It does." So is that you? Does your skin change at all as we switch seasons? Okay, mine does. And then as you know, right now it's still really warm here in the Midwest, but eventually I'm gonna have to turn on the heat. Ugh, I'm not rushing that, okay? But when that happens, that your skin can dry out and things shift again, we're not getting as much sun because the days are getting shorter. So your skin can react as well to less sun and you have to shift some things. So with that being said, it might be time to reevaluate your nighttime regimen. And that's where this retinol comes in. So what's really cool, and I'm just sharing this as a little tip for you, is if you're just like, I need some quick tips, where can I get that? You're going to use this catalog to get more information right here on pages 4 and 5. It's going to share a little bit more about what I'm talking about here today and some of the visuals that I share. So if you're like, I don't remember all the things you said, you're just going to go to pages 4 and 5 in the catalog and you can pop back in. But the first thing we're going to do is check out a video, a little bit more about the retinol. And also, actually, no, and let me do that. Before we get into the video, we're going to talk about why people need retinol. Let's do that. Let me do it in that order, actually. And so why is retinol something people need? Well, first off, it's called the gold standard ingredient dermatologists recommend for adults of every age. So if you're under 30 and you're thinking, this doesn't apply to me, you can guess again. It does. It's going to help you to prevent signs of visible skin aging you can't see yet. Often I ask the question, what age is it when you start to see a change in your skin? And, or when do people usually start to see aging? And oftentimes people will tell me, I would do a lot of these facials with younger women, like college age, and they would say, I would think around 30. And why is it that people say 30? And it's because that's when people see the changes, but really it's starting to happen in your 20s. You're starting to lose collagen at age 20, about 1% less per year. So for my younger women, and also men use retinol too. This is a product that everybody can use. So for people under 30, let's just say people under 30, you can use a regimen with retinol to help prevent. So this is helping you to be proactive. Now, if we need to now be reactive because we are already starting to see some things happening, this is going to help to reverse advanced visible signs of aging. I'm in the reverse era. Okay. I need to be doing some things on that front. And the reason I know I do for me, myself personally, is my skin will get used to something after a while and it won't work the same. All right. I don't know if anybody else deals with that. It's like it gets used to it and then you have to switch it up. So I'm excited to have a new tool in my toolkit, in my arsenal to support good skincare and also keep the skin looking fresh as long as I possibly can. All right. So this is going to help support natural collagen and elastin. It helps to improve the appearance of collagen depleted skin. So ultimately, what does that mean in like how we really talk? It keeps the skin looking young and youthful and buoyant. Okay. It's also going to help stimulate surface skin cell renewal so that when we had those, you look at those old pictures where you're just like, I didn't even know I had it going on like that. We didn't appreciate it sometimes in those AKA glory days, right? So this helps to get the skin to appear more like it did when we were younger. All right. So those are some of the rewards of retinol. All right. And then as far as real results, so I've been using it I'm going to pause. I'm at week 4 right now, okay, of using it. And how it works is it's just something you use at night. So this is a nighttime regimen. And we're going to even talk a little bit about like what's the order of application and so forth. But people see results after just 1 week. All right. So for me, I'm at week 4. And I think for me, I was talking about this to Carolyn before I hit record. I just think like, I don't know that I see a lot of like, I haven't seen a big change in like some of my hyperpigmentation, but I feel like my skin is just kind of looking a little bit more even a bit. I take a picture every week. And so I can't wait to compare it at like the 6-week mark and then like the 12-week mark. But the biggest thing for me is I've had not one negative reaction. And sometimes when I add something new to my routine, my skin kind of like freaks out a little bit first and then calms down. And there's been I didn't have that. I didn't have a freak out part. So that was huge. So if you're really like, I'm so sensitive, everything kind of messes with me, you might find that this does not do that. Okay. And to me, that's a win in itself. All right. So what happens after 1 week? The look of deep lines is improved. Also, firmness, radiance, skin tone is improved, and skin looks and feels improved. So who could get excited about some of those perks after just 1 week of using this every night? Okay. Yes, that's right. So firmness, skin tone, radiance, just having that brighter skin. And maybe that's what it is. It feels like it's a little more radiant. In fact, oh my goodness, I just remember something. So last week I was at my faith meeting and I saw a friend of mine who like was just visiting, and she was like, you look radiant. And I just thought it was my makeup because I've been using some of our new makeup products, which I also love in Fabulous. That's a whole nother masterclass to pop onto. But maybe it was the retinol too. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of all of those things, because makeup can never be a 10 if your skincare is a 2, right? So we have to start with a good foundation first. All right. And then here we are at 4 weeks. For me personally, the look of blotchiness is improved, wrinkles appear improved. So I've also been using my skin analyzer regimen a little bit more to like kind of see if I'm seeing the levels move a little bit more to the green, and not just yet, it's kind of staying the same, but that's also a positive. It's not moving more to the yellow in the areas where it was, kind of shifting there. It's not moving more there. So that's a positive. And then after 12 weeks, 100%. Now, this is exciting because we will do statistics often, but like to say 100% is significant. That 100% of women's skin texture was smoother, had less visible blotchiness, and then 90% of women's fine lines and wrinkles were less visible. 86% showed a visible reduction in deep lines. All right. But with that, I want to now switch to just a video, because sometimes, depending on who you are, you might be like, or who you're talking to, because I know I'm talking to some customers, I'm talking to some consultants. And for consultants, you may have some customers that say, I don't know, do I need this? Is this something that, I'm kind of hesitant. So what do you do? Or what if you think like that, what's the answer from one of our chief scientists at Mary Kay? What can we say in response to that? All right, so let's just check out this super quick video about that. So here we go.
I didn't start using retinol because I've heard of reactions that skin can have.
I get that, but really that's not always the case. Mary Kay Clinical Solutions retinol is easy to add into your existing nighttime routine. Now, new retinol users often need an adjustment period, but clinical testing shows that our pure retinol is gentle enough to use every day, starting on day 1.
Really?
Really, you could start using it tonight. After applying your eye cream and serum, apply 1 pump of retinol before moisturizing. And please, don't forget sunscreen during the day. You always need a sunscreen, but retinol can make skin more sensitive to the sun. So sunscreen use is crucial when using a retinol product.
Wow, you talked me into it. I can't wait to try it.
right, I'm going to go right into the next one here.
Okay, so, Dr. Lucy, tell me, what makes Mary Kay's retinol special?
Well, it's a new and improved formula, and it's the Mary Kay Clinical Solutions Retinol, and it's our superstar pure retinol formula.
Pure retinol.
Pure retinol. We actually had a version of this before called Retinol 0.5. Now, that version came with an 8-week skin retinization protocol.
It's a little challenging.
And the purpose of that, though, was to ease skin into daily use. But with our new retinol, it's gentle enough to use every single day. And you can start using it every day from day one. Everything you'd expect from a retinol, you'll get from this new formula. And some results can actually show up in as little as 1 week.
Okay. 1 week.
1 week.
Okay.
You are gonna love it.
All right, so that just kind of reaffirmed what we just were talking about seeing the benefits. But let's talk a little bit more about, what are some of the, if you were using it before, what were some of the benefits, and just seeing that visual about, what you're getting now. Okay, so again, I know I'm talking to some people who maybe use the Retinol 0.5 and you like the results that you got from it, but then you might have fallen off and you're like, do I have to re-retinize my skin? And what does that look like? Okay, so what's nice about, here's the things that were within both of those retinols is that it's going to help with appearance of wrinkles being decreased, your firmness is increased, skin smoothness, skin radiance, and even skin tone improve. So that's all staying the same. But there are some additional benefits that now exist with this new 0.3 that did not exist before. And so again, I'm just kind of showing it in a different form, but something we just talked about, the look of firmness, radiance, and skin tone improved within 1 week. And your skin looking and feeling improved. So maybe that's what I'm seeing is like it's looking and feeling improved. It's just looking fresher. Blotchiness, deep lines visibly improving, wrinkles visibly improving, fine lines visibly improving, and that there's no retinization process. And it's also a daily use product. And that is huge because would you not agree? When you can just use something daily, it's easier to stick with it, right? You don't have to say, is this a day I use this? Is this the night? Do I do this? And sometimes we're like, I'm so confused, so I just stop using it completely. Okay, does that happen to you? You're just like, if I can't use it all the time, I'm just not going to do it at all. We're like, sometimes we're all or nothing. Okay, and so with that being said, how, if I'm sensitive skin, if I'm more sensitive with my skin, can I use it? Yes, you can slowly introduce retinol into your regimen. And it's not just for someone with visible signs of aging. Remember, you want to prevent signs of aging. So let's talk a little bit about how and like when to use what. Okay. And so to the simple answer, okay, we're going to keep it simple because I have a visual and I'll share this, but I don't want to share it yet because it's going to overwhelm you. I just know it will for those people who are just like, that looks like too much. Okay. So let me give you the simple version of this, okay? Which is, the first step is you're going to use a cleanser, okay, at night. All right, so we're going to pretend this is my cleanser, okay? So I'm using my Time Wise Repair cleanser. So at night, you're going to start with your cleanser. Okay, so either we're always cleansing morning and night. I know I'm sounding like a broken record. Cleanse the face, okay? Then the second thing that we're going to do is if you use like a serum, I don't have my lifting serum here, but let's just use, for example, my pore minimizer. So let's say I use the microdermabrasion. I got large pores. So next step is going to be my serum. Okay, I'm going to use that next. All right, so any type of serum that you use. Now, the question that I've seen, and I will tell you something I did wrong at first that I've corrected. So now you don't have to make the mistake that I made because I use our boosters. Okay, I love the boosters from the retinol line as well. And at first, I was using my boosters as well at night. And I learned there's a little FAQ document. So this is a little consultant tip I'll share with you. I even printed it out. Look at it, literally says frequently asked questions. Okay. And so one of the questions is, can you use the boosters while you're using this? And the answer is yes. But the key is use your boosters in the daytime, not the nighttime. Okay, that was a mistake I made. Now, fortunately, I didn't have a reaction, but the recommendation is like use your boosters in your daytime routine and then just save the retinol by itself for your nighttime. Okay, so you don't have to use them. It's either or. Okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I don't do it, but I don't do both. All right. So I use my cleanser, I use my serum, then I do my eye cream next. Now that's a little different tip because normally you do eye cream last, but not when you're using retinol. You put eye cream on first, okay? Then you're going to use a pea size. So literally, I'm just going to show you a pump. That is enough for your whole face because what you're going to do is you're going to scoop it. You're going to be like boop, 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 avoiding the eyes, and you're going to go outward and upward, but avoid the eye area. Okay. And you're just going to kind of like pat it in. And then you're going to finish with your moisturizer. Okay. And that's it. And that's your routine. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward and simple. In fact, I'm not going to share that visual because again, it's going to overwhelm you. Okay, but that is the simple answer is those are your steps. Now in the daytime, I know we're talking about nighttime routine, but again, it's really important that we use sunscreen in the daytime. Okay. So you would wash your face, you would use your boosters next. Okay. So you'd wash your face in the daytime. If you use your boosters, you can use your boosters. Then you're going to use like a serum after that. Okay. You would use, for me, I use the Time Wise Miracle Set. So then I would do my moisturizer and then my sunscreen last. But sunscreen is really important when we're using retinol, that you use it in the daytime every day, okay? So even though nighttime is the focus, we got to talk about daytime too because we to get the best of both worlds, we want to make sure we're doing what we need to do morning and night. And again, you get to switch it up, which again, if you deal with skin that like tries to get used to something after a while, you're kind of like, wait a minute, I'm shaking it up. Your skin's not getting used to it. All right. So the next thing I want to talk briefly about is what about if I use my facial peel? I use my microdermabrasion. How does that work when I'm using retinol? I learned this too. When you use your abrasive type things, your hydrogel patches, that counts as well. Your charcoal mask, right? On those nights you use them, just say, I don't need to use my retinol tonight. Okay. So when I do my facial peel, which I will likely do tonight, I'm not going to do this tonight now because I'm going to do my facial peel, which takes off 3 layers of dead skin. I don't want to use retinol right on top of that. Okay. Or if you use charcoal mask or microdermabrasion, anything abrasive, the exfoliating scrub, just say tonight's my masking night. Okay. And then we can come back to retinol the next day. All right. So those were just a couple little tweaks. Because again, I was just thinking, oh, I could just layer it all on. And no, my face didn't fall off, but I also want to get the maximum benefits of it for like following the correct way to do that. Okay. The other thing that was just kind of mentioned, I'll just point this out. If you're someone that uses the clinical solution PHA resurfacer, which is one of the boosters, it's kind of recommended not to do that at the same time using retinol. So pick one or the other. All right. But again, because Mary Kay came out with a pure retinol that is good for daily use, I think you could just kind of pause using that resurfacer one because retinol also helps with scarring and breakouts and so forth. Those are some extra benefits of retinol that you're getting on a daily basis. So I've actually found, since I've been using the daily retinol, I have not had to use my facial peel as much as I used to. Okay. So before, if I didn't use my facial peel twice a week, you guys, my skin would start breaking out. It just would break out like it'd be like, what? Why aren't you doing this? But it hasn't. Like I had to realize after a couple weeks, I'm like, I haven't done my facial peel and I'm not breaking out. So I think this has been helping me with controlling breakouts as somebody who's more acne prone. But the reason why I've learned a little bit more is I follow other people in the beauty industry just to get tips and so forth. And so this one lady, I saw this video and she was talking about the game changer. And this was right before I think I got my retinol, right? So I was super pumped. So she was talking about like a makeup routine because she's a makeup artist and people always talk about her skin because her skin looks fabulous. And she does say your skin can't look fabulous. Your makeup won't look fabulous if your skincare is like jacked. Okay. And so she said the thing that was a game changer for her was using a daily retinol. So then when I was like, oh, we're about to get a daily retinol, like it made me really excited because I was just like, if this can now take, my skincare to the next level and I can use something every day, like that just really was exciting to me. All right. So again, just kind of sharing that as an outsider tip, but we always want to be learning from the beauty industry, period, right? There's always a lot we can learn from that. So ultimately, just as we wrap this up, Retinol is something that we don't have to be scared of. We can use it as a preventative or to reverse aging. All right. It's just something, one little pea size amount could be the game changer for your fall nighttime routine regimen to just, literally just be like that nice, fresh, radiant, succulent skin. I would just suggest take pictures, take a weekly picture so you have that point in time as a comparison, because otherwise you're going to be like, I don't even know if I'm seeing any results. But when you look back 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks and you're like, whoa, and then see how many compliments you start getting as well, right? Because we're just making those little tweaks to our regimen, just to stay out ahead of the game with our skin. Our skin changes seasonally, it changes yearly, it changes maybe depending on what we're going through with our own health situation. Sometimes if we're on medications, our skin can change as well. So that's why, we want to make sure we're making little tweaks and adjustments. And I believe that the new Retinol zero point 0.3 is just going to be a nice add-on to what you're already doing.